All right. Welcome everyone. Welcome to virtual IBA calling. As you can see, I also, thanks to the IT, I can also sit in a campus only in this way, using background at the moment, but still, at least something. I will be the one who will present IBA to you, and I'm an international coordinator. My name is Ala. I work with the recruitment and admission for international students. So if one day you decide to apply to IBA or to send your documentation, probably I will be the one who will be in touch with you about this. I also finished IBA. I finished the top up in international sales and marketing, and I was also a member of IBA case team in my years when I studied to represented IBA in international case competitions. And I don't know if all of you have already participated in other workshops from University of Southern Denmark and University College Absalon. You probably heard a lot about Denmark already, but I still like to point out a couple of things why Denmark is a bit different and how it does stand out from the crowd. This map is not to question your geographical abilities, but it's to show you where our campus is located. We are here in a small city of Kolding. You probably, if you have been to University of Southern Denmark, it's a bit below, even more southern to the south, and University College Absalon is on the north. But we are located in quite good position, 90 kilometers to German border, and also 45 kilometers to Billund airport, where you can easily fly either from Latvia, either from Lithuania. That's usually not a very big distance. And talking about Denmark, I usually point out three things. At least that's what was standing out for me as an international student. The first thing is the culture. Is the culture of a teamwork, that everything in Denmark is done in groups. It's very important in Denmark to be a very good colleague. And in Denmark, it's also not very appropriate, to stand out too much or say that I'm very competitive or I'm better than somebody else. So you have to be a very good colleague. And with low power distance, it means that the teacher here doesn't have that kind of authority anymore, in terms of that they are more equal to you as a students. And we always say that the teacher is your friend, but still a teacher. It means that you can joke with them, you can ask them many questions about even your personal life, but always remember that they are the ones who give you the grade at the exam. So yeah, it means that you need to still have some boundaries. By innovation, Denmark is one of the innovation leaders in Europe and in the world as well, by many researches, and it also transfers to our studies. Because we have a very strong focus on innovation and entrepreneurship. In every day, you would see as a student that you have to work on cases with the companies and share your own ideas. And we also allow our students to take internships in their own companies or developing their own companies later on. And of course, Hygge, as everybody in the world heard about this, and there are books written. So Denmark is the second happiest country in the world now, not the first anymore, after Finland. But still, Scandinavian countries are one of the happiest countries in the world. All 5 positions are by Nordic countries, which means that there is also a lot to learn from this. How do Danes live, and why are they one of the happiest people? So that's what I still figuring out. Living in Denmark for 4 years by now. So, but it's still a lot to learn from this culture, coming from different part of the world. And this image is about Danish education system. It's quite similar to German and Dutch. And we are part of this this part of the education system, because academies in Denmark are focusing on professional education. The education is focused on the job market, and also we mainly graduating professionals for the private sector. So if you finish school, so high school, secondary education, we divide our bachelor into two parts, and you apply for AP degree, so-called, for 2 years, and then to get a bachelor level, you study 1.5 years more. So that's the main difference between universities, that we more focus on professional education, whilst in universities you mainly come to lectures, listen more theoretical, and write more theoretical papers as well. About our city a little bit, because it's very important to say that we are not a capital material, as I call it. Our city is, municipality is approximately 93,000. But we have approximately 4,500 students, because besides us, our campus, there is also campus of University of Southern Denmark, by the way, and Danish language school, design school, and everything is located in the same area. So besides IBA students, you can also meet other international students from other educational institutions. And what's also very important, that it's a small and very safe and student-friendly city. So if your parents worrying about sending you abroad, so this is not the city where you should worry about. I always say that you need to either cause the problems, either really look for them to be in trouble here in our small Kolding. So this is the picture from Kolding, that you can see that there are not so many tall buildings. Everything looks very like European style. And what's also important, that a lot of things that you might need to use are very in a walking distance. So students don't use public transport that often. Either they walk, either they bike to campus. And that's why we also called it as a student hub, because this is our campus here, our students, and we can see everything that related, like all educational institutions, right from our campus, right next to us as well. And this is how it looks from outside. Very nice, very like Danish, open concept design. So we can see from outside the stairs and how people moving around. Yeah, very modern facility. So we are very proud to work there, and students really enjoy to study in this open classrooms as well. And what's also important to point out, that we're a public institution, because many students think that because of our name, like International Business Academy, we're not a private school, we're public. We're fully accredited by the Ministry of Education in Denmark, which means that all our degrees are accredited and they are recognized in Europe and above as well. So you don't have to worry about that, what kind of education you can get. We have approximately 1,500 full-time students, and 1/3 of them are coming from outside of Denmark. So 500 approximately students are non-Danes. So that's also very important for many internationals to know. You're not the only one. You're not the first international student. You're not the last. And we have 52 different nationalities on campus, now probably even more, which we're also very proud of. So it doesn't mean that you will meet every person in your classes from different country. It's through the whole IBA, but still we're quite international. And usually in our undergraduate programs, last year we had 22 different nationalities starting up only on undergraduate level in international classes. And why to choose IBA? Many students actually ask how to choose an educational institution. And if you're thinking about going to Denmark, we are 8 academies in Denmark, and almost all of us provide the same type of degrees. So for example, marketing management, you can study almost in any academy here in English. But you need to make a decision and how to do it. So basically to looking at some extra activities and what extra does school offer. because you can study business pretty much anywhere in the world nowadays, but all extra things that's only school can offer, this is what actually important. So we are a medium-sized institution, which means that we, as you can see, we have 1,500 students and small classrooms, which means that teachers know you in your face. You're not just a number in a classroom. So it's like in high school, basically. You have the class, you follow with this group for those 2 years. You know all the teachers know you. And also if you have any issues or any problems in a small institution, it's much easier to solve them. So it's very nice way to start your international studies or international abroad life, because if you, it's very first time for you to move abroad from your family, you also need to consider that it's very important to feel comfortable and not to be afraid of a very big city or not to be lost in there. So choose wisely, I mean, where you want to study and how big the institution is. We mainly focus on business and IT related subjects. Also, majority of our teachers are working professionals, which means that they're not actual like academics. They didn't just study to teach this certain subjects, but they actually build a career in marketing or in logistics. And now, after their career, they teach students. So it gives a bit extra of a professional approach. We also have 85 international partners. So if some of you thinking about going abroad, also like on Erasmus exchange to partner school, so you have a really broad network to choose from. We have a lot of extracurriculum activities, starting from sports things to cultural things, of course, because it's very boring to be only studying and going only to classes. So we always encourage students to join extra activities, to participate in different events. So besides your classroom, you can meet all other students as well, which is important. As I said, we're really focused on innovation and entrepreneurship. So if some of you have any business ideas or in the future you want to build your own company, start thinking about it. You can try to make a business plan and even get an internship and develop this company as well. And of course, strong collaboration with companies, with regional businesses that are close to us, because we need to provide a big network for internships. All the exams that you write usually based on actual companies. So you would have to give the idea to the companies and so on. So it's not so much that you just learned theory and then you rewrite it in an exam, word by word. Our exams are open book exams. You can use, I call them open Google, because you can use internet, you can use your computer, because you won't find the actual answer there. You will get a case, you will get a description of the company, and they will ask you to give the suggestions, for example, about marketing or logistics and so on. So it's actually really, really exciting and interesting to give your own ideas on that and not just remember by heart everything. That's what we study, at least in my country. And as I said, you will work a lot in groups. There are a lot of individual assignments, but a lot of group work. And it's really an interesting mode of studying, because it can give you a big help as well if somebody not very good, let's say in finance, but others are. And so you need to delegate, you need to divide, and then you have to build it all together as a teamwork. But it also teaches you how to deal with conflicts, especially with multicultural teams. So this is really nice to get this experience in school already before you actually go to the business world, when you get a job and you have to work in multicultural companies. So it really prepares you for internships and for career afterwards as well. We have a very informal atmosphere, as you can see. We don't wear suits. It's a casual Friday every day. So we dress business casual. That's why I'm not wearing a suit when I present, and I have a bit more of informal style of presentation, because that's what you will meet here at IBA. And this is also helps students to be a bit more relaxed, a bit less stress in terms of that you don't feel that pressure from professors that think that you're not qualified enough to give the ideas. It's very opposite because you are the ones who after graduation will go and work on the job market. So you have to learn how to, how to work, how to give your ideas, how to pitch them. So this is very important for us. And now, what do we actually offer? What kind of programs you can study with us? So I assume we have the audience that a majority of you either finished in high school. So I will focus more on our undergraduate degrees. And then if you have some questions about further degrees, then you can just ask, okay? So as I mentioned, we mainly focus on business and IT degrees. So after school, with us, you can study either marketing management or like Euro-Asia Business Management Program or multimedia design and communication for those who are interested in more IT and web development. So let's stop on each program very quickly. So those of you who are interested in business career or business degree later on, I can advise marketing management degree because this degree is the very good foundation of all business areas. It's correlation of all business areas like marketing, sales, logistics, business law, for example, and also other subjects like organization and management. So it really focuses on communication of the company with the customers, how to sell the products, and so on. So it takes 4 semesters, the first step to the bachelor degree. Yeah, this is just the program structure that you can also find on our website. But what's important is that on the second year, on the third semester, you can go abroad if you wish to study abroad. And yeah, here I mentioned it. So you don't have to pay extra tuition fees for that. And you can choose from 85 different options. So if you ever thought about it, just you can ask us later on what kind of options we have, and I can leave also the website here so you can look at this. And then we have elective elements on the third semester, which means that you can choose something that you're really interested in and want to specialize as well. And to be eligible for the program, you need to have education equivalent to a Danish secondary education. But it's basically what you study in a high school, in both in Lithuania and Latvia. I have seen many of qualifications from there, so no worries if you finish in regular or vocational high school. This is what we ask for. And the only thing that we calculate in Denmark, the levels. In Lithuania, you have those levels as well. You have mathematics B or English B, right? You even get it in your brandes atestatus, basically. But in Latvia, you don't have that, at least not in the same way like B level or something. But what you can do, you can just ask your school to to sign a paper how many hours of mathematics and English you had in the last 3 years. So yeah, and usually both from Latvia and from Lithuania, you fulfill this entry requirements. So that's not very hard. And if you would ever decide to apply with Kalba as well, so yeah, they also know the whole procedure and so on. This is basically just a couple of companies that we work with on AP, for example. This is just from one semester. And I mean, all of these companies are Danish, and you probably don't know some of them, but Echo is pretty well known. So the shoe company, they work with us for many years, and they receive interns from IBA quite often as well, almost every semester. So yes, this is what you meet every semester and work with when you pass your subjects. And the pretty of Danish education that on this program, if you're an European citizen, you don't have to pay tuition fees. So you only have to finance your living costs while you live in Denmark. And just to mention that if some of you are really interested in Asian culture and doing business with China, or you would like to work for a company that combines these two parts of the world, Europe and Asia, later on. We have this Euro-Asia Business Management program. So you basically study 2 years at IBA, this AP degree in marketing management, and you study 2 years in Shanghai afterwards. You have this opportunity to go to China as well. So it's a mixture of mandatory Chinese courses and business-related subjects. The only difference is that it's the same entry requirements, but the only difference is that there's tuition fees for all students when they go to China. So you have to be ready to have a budget for that part. It's approximately 2,700 euros per year, which is very competitive, because if you go to China just on your own, it's much, much more expensive. And now, for those who are interested in IT related areas, we have a 2-year AP degree in multimedia design and communication. And this program, as you can see, it's very hands-on. We don't divide even program into subjects. We don't have actual subjects there. It's more of themes. So for example, in first semester, you work with designing and programming digital user interfaces and then digital content. And then in second semester, you go like level up, work with the same. And on the third semester, you can specialize if you wish to work more with the web development or more with the digital marketing. This degree is quite popular in many European countries because in not so many countries, there is a combination in one degree of a graphic design and web development, because many countries just divide it. Usually, either you study just web development, either you just study IT, either you're a graphic designer. And usually those degrees as a graphic design, they're very expensive in many countries, or it's very hard to get in, or it's only private schools that offer it, while here we combine it. So it's really, really good degree for you, especially and also in career prospects nowadays. So students also learn how to use Photoshop, Illustrator, InDesign, and learn developer languages as well. Yeah, there is basically almost no books for this, and you work always on the projects because this is very hands-on. And also for career opportunities, you can choose a lot of them. This is just couple, like web development, application development, designer, social media manager, and so on. So it opens quite a few doors for students. And admission requirements are pretty much the same as for AP marketing management, but somehow the government decided that graphic designers and web developers need a bit less level of mathematics for this. They don't have to count the budget, but I guess, but yes, and usually this is something that all students do have as well from your countries. And again, there is no tuition fees on that. Well, this is just a top-up degree that how you can reach the bachelor level after that AP one. So this is basically to get you a bachelor level. That's how it calls international sales and marketing for marketing managers. And you just focus a bit more on a company, on strategy, and so on. So yes. I think it's 1526. I have talked a lot about the programs and about the IBA. I would like to hear, do you have any questions to me? If I need to specify something more, maybe. You can just write in the chat or just unmute yourself um, so I could answer some questions. So I just ask you, please write if you have any questions. I will just continue. I will just tell you a little bit more about extra activities. As I mentioned, that you have opportunity to use like semester abroad, or you can go to international marketing or business weeks to our partner schools, or go to summer camp in China if you study Chinese with us, or you can do even internship abroad. So that's why we call it our webinar Become a Global Citizen, because even though you come to study in Denmark, you most likely will be in an international class with students from different type of countries, cultures, and so on. And plus to that, you can also top your international experience up with going even more abroad. And we have a Confucius Institute. That's why I mentioned that you can study Chinese with us for free. We have guest researchers, the teachers from Shanghai as well, from our partner institution, and we host a lot of cultural events and make business events as well. And this also enables us to take our students to summer camp. So those who study Chinese and pass the exam, they can go to for 2 weeks. Students only pay their flight tickets and visa costs, and that's it. So all other costs are on the schools. And we have been doing, for example, 2 years ago, already 2 years ago, I led the group of 35 students, and we've spent 2 weeks there, a lot of sightseeing, a lot of cultural workshops, Chinese classes as well. So this is really, they said that it's one of the best life experiences for them in that time and for such a price. I also always say that it's very boring to just study. So it's very important that you join, for example, student life, and also participate and make events. So always students have a lot of different ideas. So it's very important to be a part of it and share with other students as well what you can do. Yes. So this is the room that opened for students in, well, not in the COVID times, but in usual times. We have a room that's open for students 24/7, and they can join it anytime with their friends even. It's also a Friday bar for us in Denmark. If you don't have a bar in school, you're not a normal school. That's what I learned when I moved here. Danes have really relaxed relationship to alcohol, so that's apparently a very big thing here. Then we also have a running club. As you can see, I'm also part of it. So I couldn't run at all before, and now I came to 9K. Yes, we have even more experienced runners there, but we just employees, teachers, there are employees, teachers as well here, students. So we just meet in front of our campus, and we just run as much as we want and we can. So very nice social experience as well. And we have a body and a tutor program. So you're not alone from the start. So if you get admission to IBA, you can ask for IBA body, and we will send you the contact of the second or the third semester student. I usually send the same from the same country, so you can ask questions about the very personal experience from them, and they usually help with all their like organizational kind of questions as well to our students. And a couple of words about accommodation, because it's also a very important thing. At IBA, we don't have campus, so you don't live like in a dormitory or anything, but it's not very scary. No worries. We have our local municipality who are in charge of the whole student housing. And this, for example, this website, Student Calling, you can even visit it now already. It is in English. You can apply for like 10 apartments. The prices are between 250 to 400 euros for your own small apartment. The only thing that you need to know that they are unfurnished, But we're talking with all of our international students, and they say that it hasn't been a big problem for them because we have a lot of secondhand shops. We have a lot of students who, for example, moving out, they sell their stuff on Facebook as well. So all of our students have been pretty amazing, and they said that we are getting by really, really fast and finding all furniture. So this is kind of like a building that one of the student apartments, literally 3 minutes away from IBA. We have a talent program. As I said, I've been a part of a case team. So this is the special team that being organized for very highly focused and ambitious students. It takes a lot of free time, but we have been presenting IBA on international case competitions. So we train a lot and we train our team a lot, but it's really fun experience. We have been, for example, in Latvia and Lithuania as well as with my team. We have been in Riga as well in School of Economics to present as well the case for the company that they provided. So this is something to consider as an extra activity. And we're very focused on future career because we have our career office and they are helping our students with CV and applications and so on. So this is very important that you start working on your career right at the very first day when you come in. So I would like to just say that to wrap up my presentation, our motto is that education that works, because we work on personal development of each student. We mainly focus on their career, and also we have an international environment. So I hope that it was something for you to study in Denmark in a small city, in a small cozy city, and if it suits you that you want to study business or IT degree, then I'm really looking forward that you would join me later on. Hope to see you. If you have any questions, I will write in the chat my email here. So you're always welcome to contact me if you have any questions.
Can I ask a question?